If you're watching this video and you're anything like the old me, sad, depressed, broke, lost, lazy, then stick it to the end of this video because I'm going to literally explain the exact steps that I took to go from being minus $200 in my bank account to making passive income every single week and providing for my parents. And trust me, I'm not a genius. I don't have 2000 IQ. I'm just a regular guy that was born and raised in a small island, literally a third world country. So if I made it happen and I'm not special, so can you. And I'm literally making this video for old me, for the me from the past, because I know a lot of you guys are going to relate to this. I was genuinely sad, genuinely depressed and broke. And probably the main reason why I was like that was because I was lazy. And even at the stage that I am right now with my success in my career, I still get lazy from time to time, but not to the extent that I was literally a year ago. A year ago, my For You page was full of motivation, full of side hustle videos about making money online. Any business model out there, I knew about it in and out. But the only thing is, I never did a single thing related to business. I was always that guy on the sidelines, watching everybody else succeed, watching all the side hustle videos, but never taking action because I was just genuinely lazy. And now that I think back at my life a year ago, everything that I was doing was not contributing to my goals. I was one of those guys that would play video games for hours, to scroll on TikTok for hours, but also have these ambitions and these standards to be successful. And that is the most hypocrite thing you can do to yourself. That is actually self-sabotage unconsciously. Your goals and who you want to be does not align with your current lifestyle. You know that you shouldn't be playing video games. You know that you shouldn't be on TikTok for 5 hours. You know that you should go and open that book and read, but you don't do it. And I'm saying this because that was literally my life for months and years. I would watch all of these videos, get all the motivation in the world, make a to-do list, and then the next day, wake up at 3 p.m. It literally made zero sense. And a lot of you guys are probably relating to this video right now because this might be your exact life right now. I will get in these loops of just hype and motivation and trying something new and educating myself on all these businesses and never doing anything. Because at the end of the day, my mindset and my identity was not aligning with who I wanted to be. If you're broke and you're still playing video games, you're still scrolling on TikTok for 10 hours, and you're not educating yourself in no way, shape, or form, you cannot afford that. You can't afford to play video games and watch TikTok for hours if you're broke. If you genuinely want to become that person that you envision yourself to be, if you actually want to accomplish your goals for 2025, then please, for your own good, drop the controller. And if you're not going to use your phone to make money, drop it. Because if I've learned anything in this journey, is that the only thing that will get you to success is action. It's not you thinking about it. It's not you writing it down. It's not you reading the books. It's you actually taking action on a day-to-day basis. That's how I was able to get to the point that I am today of being able to provide for my parents and make sales every single week passively. But before I even got here, I went through years and months of just pure struggles, multiple breakups. I had multiple disappointments, a bunch of family issues that were literally having a negative effect on my mindset. I always envisioned myself to be a very strong person, but the moment I went through those breakups and that my family had those issues, I realized that I'm powerless. I can be smart, I can be handsome, I can be dynamic, but if I don't have any money, I'm basically useless. And that's really the harsh reality of being a man. If you don't have the resources, if you're not a resourceful man, then you're not going to be able to make it in life no matter what your skill sets are. And it was actually going through that breakup and having those issues within my family that made me realize that if I had money, 90% of everything I was going through would have probably been resolved by now. And unfortunately, that's what it took to wake me up. That's what it took for me to actually realize that I need to grind, that I need to lock in and not only have a better future for myself, but for my family as well. I'm slowly starting to change. I'm getting all these mindset shifts about how I should manage my life, so I can actually achieve my goals. But then I moved to France, and that was a complete change because first, I'm in a country that I do not know by myself, and I have no money. The money that I'm making, at least that I'm getting, is barely enough for me to survive. And if you know anything of my story, because I was in university and I was barely making any money, I was kind of forced to get a job so I can at least have some sort of breather every single month. But the only problem was that it was a warehouse job, and warehouse jobs are horrible because one, you don't get paid much, and number two, it destroys your body. And I almost got injured multiple times. And I was like, heck nah, I'm not going to do this anymore. I hated university. I hated the warehouse job. And I needed to do something with my life. After all the breakups and the family issues and not having any money and being in this country by myself, I had enough. And I realized, I need to do something where I'm going to be homeless. If I don't lock in, if I don't make something happen, I am going to be in the streets. I had weeks, sometimes even months, where I didn't know what I was going to eat the next day. I would go to sleep and be super anxious because I'm like, bro, what the heck am I going to eat? And it was going through these anxious moments of, yo, I need to do something with my life. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of broke. That kind of forced me to take a loan. That made things 10 times worse for me, because it's like, okay, cool, I'm getting this money to kind of help out in the meantime, but I have to pay that money back. And I was put in a position where I needed to act quickly in my life. If I didn't do something, like I told you guys just now, I would be homeless. Now my mindset is slowly changing because of all these hardships. And on top of that, now I have urgency. And that is what a lot of you guys are missing in your life. You don't have any urgency. The reason why you're lazy is because you have zero urgency. It's the fact that whenever something is approaching a deadline, we start going crazy. Our brain just like kind of turns the machine on, and we just start going full blast. And it's really that urgency, that external factor, that if you don't do this now, you're not going to succeed, you're not going to get what you want, that makes it work even harder and probably pushes you to your potential. And that is what you need to implement in your life, just like I did. Now, of course, I didn't do this consciously, but whenever I have a project in my life that I need to accomplish ASAP, that's the first thing that I do, add some urgency. The moment you realize that you don't have a lot of time to make it out, the moment you realize that, bro, if you don't make it out within this week, within these next few months or year, you're cooked. You're going to keep playing video games. You're going to keep scrolling because you're comfortable. So that's the first thing that I learned in this journey after taking action, was that urgency was going to be my best friend. And learning how to manage urgency the right way was going to make me a lot of money. Now, despite of me having all these intentions of becoming better, all these bad habits of playing video games and being lazy were literally like 60-kilo chains on my feet. And despite of me having these intentions, I couldn't move forward because they were literally dragging me and stopping me from succeeding. And I needed to cut ties with the old me. I needed to cut ties with things and habits in my life that were not aligning with my goals. I wasn't able to get there without awareness. And this brings me to my next step, which is awareness. And one of the best ways of becoming more aware is through journaling. Now, if you're going to just vaguely, religiously just journal for the sake of journaling, then don't do it. It's going to be a waste of time. If you're going to journal, you need to journal precisely and with intention. Every single week, I would literally highlight what I did. I would be like, okay, Monday I did this, Friday I did this. What are certain things that I should drop? What are the things that I should add? And what are certain things that should be improved? And just having that weekly check-in with myself every single week, every Sunday, help me realize that, bro, playing video games is not making me any money. Scrolling on TikTok is not making me any money. I should stop that and do something that is going to give me some return on my investment, on my time, on my energy, on my effort. And I was putting all this effort, time, and energy into these habits that were not contributing to my goals. So one of the first steps that you need to take to actually become more productive is journaling. Literally every single week, keeping track of what is it that you do and have this click in your mind that you need to improve so you can achieve your goals. Besides journaling, one of those things that really helped me become more productive was tracking on a drawn calendar. Now, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but let me explain. I would literally take a sticky note and draw squares on the sticky note. And every single box on the sticky note will represent a day of the month. And my goal was every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, dedicated to the business. Whether it be educating myself, or I'm investing some sort of money, or I'm actively taking action, even if it's just 10 minutes, I need to get it done. And the goal with this sticky note was to essentially exit. And every single day that I achieve this task, that I complete that task, to exit. I wanted every single day of this sticky note to be packed. At the end of the month, if this sticky note was not full of X's, I failed. The goal here is to keep the streak as long as possible so you can build that momentum. Building momentum is extremely important because as lazy people, we kind of need that extra push to get things done. And when you have this momentum, when you have this energy going on that is pushing you forward, keep it going. Sleeping out one day is okay. Sleeping out one day is fine. It's actually normal in your day-to-day life. You might be sick. You might have an urgency. You might have some occasion that you just cannot complete that task. That's fine. But do not allow yourself to slip up for 2 days. If you slip up one day, that's totally fine. But if you slip up for 2 days, 3 days, that is unacceptable. You need to every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour dedicated to your business and to growing and improving yourself. Nobody's going to come and drop 10K in the palm of your hand. You need to put in the work. So if you want to make passive income, if you want to become shredded, if you want to become smarter, you need to put in the work every single day. And I know this might sound daunting, but this is actually a very smart way of doing it. This is my next step or my next advice, which is to reward yourself. A lot of people say that discipline is about you doing the things that you hate every single day. And I completely disagree. Discipline is about doing what you need to do every single day to accomplish your goals and rewarding yourself for it. If you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, you'll very quickly understand that your brain reacts to pleasure. So whatever you dislike and whatever you don't like, your brain is not going to want to do it. So if your mind, you're seeing being productive or working on your business as a drag, as something that is going to annoy you, then of course you're not going to want to do it. Once you change your mind positively that this is something that I like, this is something that I want, naturally it's going to start becoming a habit because you're going to start repeating it because of pleasure. And if naturally by you doing this productive task is not making you happier, then reward yourself for it. If rewarding yourself is you scrolling on TikTok for 10 minutes or you eating a snack or you going outside for a walk is rewarding yourself, then do it. Because if your brain is not receiving some type of signal that you like this, it's not going to want to repeat it. You don't really need much to become successful. I've been able to reach to this stage of being able to buy my brother a new iPhone last week, of being able to send my mother money for bills, and being able to help my friends whenever they are in need through passive income because of these steps. Every single week when I first started, I was journaling and doing weekly check-ins with myself, dropping everything that wasn't good, including everything that I needed to improve on, and tracking my every single day and being productive for at least 10 minutes. Right now, at this stage of my career, I don't follow any specific routines. And that is something that I also fell for when I began my journey. I would always go on YouTube and follow those guys that did like day in a life millionaire routine, or my morning routine success, or my nighttime routine to become a millionaire. And it's basically a bunch of bull crap. Because sure, using somebody else's strategy can definitely be a good foundation for yourself, but at the end of the day, it's not you. It's not coming from you. And your brain reacts more when you create something yourself. You're going to have a much stronger connection with whatever task you're doing or whatever routine if you create it yourself, because there's an emotional connection now. So if you're going to follow any routine, create a routine for yourself that is actually going to align with your goals and make you successful. I don't follow any specific routines. The only thing that I do that directly contributes to my success, besides working on a business every single day, is Google Calendar. Now, I'm somebody that doesn't really like being strict with my timeline and my schedule every single day, but I like having reminders. I like having time blocks for work or for specific tasks. I'm not sponsored by Google in any way, but I genuinely love the tool because it's extremely simple. You can add reminders, you can add tasks in there, tag people, add a location, whatever it is. And basically, whatever you want to do for the day, you just add it in there. You're going to start getting a bunch of reminders and you're going to see it in your schedule. And this is just a small factor, a small contributor that makes you feel more productive. The goal here is for you to build this momentum so you can become more productive. And that's what I did when I started this journey. If you seriously want to succeed, listen to my words carefully. Build trust with yourself. When you're lazy but have a lot of ambitions and goals, you tend to fall for the trap or the bad habit of saying that you're going to do something but you don't do. And that specific bad habit dragged me and stopped me from becoming successful for years. After watching these online side hustle videos that I'm going to take action, I'm going to educate myself, I'm going to start the business, I'm going to send the emails, I'm going to post the videos, and I never did it. And what this does to your brain, to your subconscious mind, it starts to build this gap and you don't trust yourself anymore because you say you're going to do something, but you don't do it. Next thing you know, you don't have any self-esteem, you don't have any confidence, and most importantly, you don't have any trust with yourself to actually succeed. So you might feel like you have the potential, you might feel like you have those goals and you can accomplish them, but you're not going to get there because you don't have that trust with yourself. So when I tell you to please, for your own good, every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes to build a habit of being productive, do it. Because when you tell yourself I'm going to do something every single day and you do it, even if it's just 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you're going to start building this relationship with yourself, a healthy relationship of trust, of confidence, and a higher self-esteem because you do what you say. That was a crazy yap session, but if you have any curiosities on what business model I actually used to go from being in debt to making passive income every single week, then check the link in my description for an 100% full free course. Inside that course, I go in detail giving out every single step-by-step for you to actually succeed with this business model. And if you ever have any questions or concerns, or you want me to help you in this journey personally, then don't hesitate on booking a free call with me. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to push anything on you. The purpose of the call is to purely help you out on your journey. So if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate on liking the video, subscribing, or DMing me on Instagram if you have any questions. That being said, talk soon.